Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now look at this. This is a beautiful gold yarn. Now it didn't have a label on it and I got it donated to me. It's so easy this. It's so easy. Now it's quite a compact stitch when you do this. It is into the same stitch you do one UK double crochet and one UK treble crochet. If you're in another country, that is a single crochet and a double crochet into the same stitch. You skip a stitch and then just repeat it, and that is what makes this. And look at this side as well. Now I am using a sort of larger hook. This is a 6mm hook. It's so easy. I haven't finished this little blanket. I've still got a border to put on. I would just put a treble crochet border all around this little blanket when I've got it done. This is for a little, one of those little pushchair prams. Now I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to show you this. Now I've got the light coming in. This is Baby Blossom Chunky, if I can get the sunlight to go off it. It's a beautiful shade. Look at all these different colours. It's beautiful. Now I got this donated to me as well, but the hook I'm going to use for this is a 7mm hook. Now it tells you on this to use where's my crochet hook? It says to use a 6.5, but like I said, this stitch is quite a dense thick stitch, so I'm using a UK 7mm. So I'll get my yarn ready and I'm going to show you how to do this. It is so simple. It's so simple with a slip knot, and the colours in this yarn are absolutely beautiful. I'm just going to do a slip knot. I just wrap it around my fingers like this, put my hook through, just grab that piece of yarn right through there and pull like that. But you can start it whatever way you want, and if you're a real beginner, you can just tie it on. Just tie it on. Now don't do your chain too tight. Keep your chain stitches quite slack. So you're going to crochet an even number of stitches. But when I show you how to do the first stitch, you'll end up with an odd number of stitches. So just do your chain. Do your stitches quite slack. And if you use a chunky yarn for this stitch, it's going to look absolutely amazing. So I'll do myself a little sample. I'm not even counting these chains, because if I get to the end and I'm one short, I'll use the tail to make another stitch. If I've got one too many, I'll just take that last stitch out. I'll just pick it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the second stitch in the hook. So that's my first stitch and that's my second stitch. We're going to do a UK double crochet. If you're in the USA, that's a single crochet. So we're going to do a UK double crochet. So just go straight into that stitch and pull your yarn through, yarn over, and come through those two loops. Now into the same stitch again, that same stitch, we're going to do a treble crochet. So yarn over and into that same stitch. Pull through your two loops, yarn over and come through your two loops. Now you're going to skip the next stitch. Now that is our stitch work there, and this is the next one. We're going to skip that one and go into this one here. A double crochet and a treble crochet into that same stitch. If you're in the USA, that's a single crochet and a double crochet. So I do like to try and tell you both terms, because a lot of people in America watch my channel as well. So into that stitch, I'm doing my double crochet, and the same stitch, I'm going to do my treble crochet. Skip a stitch and do the same. That's what you're going to repeat. That's it. That's all we have to do. Every row it will be a double crochet and a treble crochet, skip a stitch, a double crochet and treble crochet into the same one, skip a stitch. So we're going to skip the next stitch and do a double and a treble crochet. Now can you see what I mean with it being quite a sort of dense stitch? It's quite a thick stitch. So I could even go up to a size 8 with this hook and get the pattern a little bit more open. But if you're looking for a nice winter warm blanket, this is a stitch for you. So skip a stitch, double crochet and treble crochet into the same stitch. Skip one, double crochet and treble crochet into the same stitch. Skip one, a double and a treble. Now this yarn is made by Hayfield. Skip one. It's beautiful. Just in case that you're looking for some of this, it's absolutely amazing. Skip a stitch, do a double crochet and a treble crochet into the same stitch. So your last stitch is a double crochet. Just go straight in and do a double crochet. I missed a stitch there. In and do a double crochet in that last stitch. Here. Chain one, that doesn't count for anything. So just turn your work and right in to that first space here where that last double crochet is, we're going to start the repeat of the pattern. So you're going to do a double crochet and a treble crochet into the same stitch, skip a stitch, and then into, if you can see, you'll have a sort of bigger stitch and then a little stitch. You're going into that one, that's your double crochet stitch. So skip that stitch, it's usually above that bulky area. So into there, and you're going to do a double crochet and a treble crochet. And that's it, that's the repeat. Skip a stitch, double crochet, treble crochet into the same stitch, skip that stitch and work that stitch. So every row you'll be working in between these two bulky parts that you can see. I've got the sunlight shining right in the window. So a double crochet and a treble crochet. So the stitch is working really well. Now you won't notice it until you've done a few rows. So we're going to skip this stitch and work this one. And you can clearly see where you're going. You're going in between these two bundles. Do your 2 stitches into that one. Skip that next stitch and go into the next one. Double crochet and treble crochet. If you're in the USA, that is a single crochet and a double crochet. Get some more of this yarn. I'll pop that back up there. So I'm going to do a few more rows. Told you this was really simple, really quick and easy. So I'm at the end of my row again, so it's miss a stitch. Now your little, because we only done a chain one here, it's quite small, so remember and do that. You're going to miss that stitch and go into there and just do a double crochet. So on the end you'll always have a double crochet. Chain one doesn't count as anything. Just turn and go straight in to that space there. If your pattern goes off, it might be because you're skipping here and starting in here. Well, you don't. You start right in here into this stitch. So a double crochet and a treble crochet into that stitch. And don't think your blanket's going to go out, but because you skip that stitch and you move to the next one, it pulls that over a little bit. So don't think that your blanket's going to continue to go out in an angle. It won't, or it shouldn't. So see, it straightens it up when you pull it across, when you skip that stitch. Skip the next stitch. And that's it. Away you go with it. Absolutely amazing. Now what I'm going to do is, because this is all different colours, I'm going to do, you can see it really well on there. And I'll get my gold one back that I've been working on. And this is what it looks like in a plain yarn. You do get a nice straight edge like that. So you might not even need to put a border on. If you do, I would just do a treble crochet into each of your stitches and see what it looks like. If it's too much, then do a treble crochet, miss a stitch, and a treble crochet. That's all I would put on this. And as you can see, if you use a bigger hook with thinner yarn, your pattern will look like this. And if you're using, I'll squidge it back up to the right way, if you're using a smaller hook, it becomes like this. It's a little bit more dense. And it doesn't matter what yarn you use, it's really, really pretty. And it's quick. And that's what everybody wants, a nice, pretty stitch that's quick. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do some more with this multicolour yarn. With this multicolored one, I'll do some more rows and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So I've done a few more rows of this stitch and this is what it looks like. And I've been using a 7mm crochet hook. That's a 7mm. Now I'm going to show you this. I've also done another little sample for you. It's the same stitch. Look at the difference. Now with this one I've used a big 9mm hook. This is a big thick 9mm hook. And look at the difference in the stitch. It's much more open with a bigger hook. And then you've got this one with the 7mm hook. As you can see what I was saying about it being more compact. And if you're looking for something more compact and maybe more cozy and warm, then use a smaller hook. So it's worthwhile doing a small chain with the yarn that you've picked and the hook size it says on the yarn and see what it looks like. And this is what the stitch looks like in a double knitting yarn. And I've just used a 6mm hook with this. So it's a really easy, pretty stitch to make some blankets with, especially if you're in a hurry and you need something done quickly. It's really pretty. And it's just as nice in a plain yarn as it is in a mix, especially you can see that here with the mix yarn down there and then all these pretty colours. So I like this because it kind of gives you a guide of what the stitch looks like in different colours. Look at that, it's really pretty. I really like this yarn as well, it's really nice. I love all those light pastel colours that's in it. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then just click on that subscribe button. There's still hundreds of thousands of people watching my channel that haven't subscribed. And if you click on the bell icon that's just here, YouTube will tell you when I put up another tutorial. So until the next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.